Hello and welcome to CloudFolks HUB. Right now, I am inside my API Gateway console and I just opened it first time. Now, how to start? You need to click on Create an API. Now here, you need to choose API type. We have mainly 4 types: HTTP API, WebSocket API, REST API, REST API private. Now we can put REST API and REST API private into the same bucket. The only difference is REST API is public, anybody can access over the internet. REST API private is only accessible from the VPC. So all other features are almost same. Now, the main confusion we have is actually in between HTTP API and REST API. WebSocket API is altogether different game, so we'll discuss about this in another upcoming videos. But the most important task is to choose between HTTP API and REST API. Now you can only take right decision if you have idea of their features. I want you to understand these features properly so you can take decision that okay, in this particular case I can choose HTTP API or REST API. In the AWS Solution Architect exam, they are asking questions related to this. In the interview, you may get questions related to this as well. So this is really very important point. So in this video, we are going to talk about REST API versus HTTP API. Because we have so many features to compare, we decided that we are going to divide this video into the 2 parts. This is part 1 of REST API versus HTTP API. So let's start. As always, we are going to start with introduction. AWS API Gateway supports 3 types of API. REST API, REST API private, we are just putting them into the same bucket. HTTP API and WebSocket API. REST API and HTTP API are almost same because both works on normal request response model. Your client sends one request, backend sends response, and connection closed. They use same HTTP protocol, same REST style design and same integration pattern. Only differences is in the features. REST API gives full advanced features and HTTP gives faster and cheaper performance with limited features. Here cheaper means less expensive. If you compare REST API and HTTP API, HTTP API is 70% cheaper in terms of price than REST API, right? But yes, faster is actually HTTP API. Now, WebSocket API is completely different because it is used for real-time communication where connection stays open. Look at this here. Request, response, connection close. In between request response, we have API gateway. But here, connection stays open, like WhatsApp chat or live dashboard where both client and server can continuously send messages. So in this video, we will compare only REST API and HTTP API because WebSocket API works in a completely different way and cannot be compared with the REST or HTTP APIs. So we have specific video for it. Now, I want you to understand all these features and then also understand the differences, right? So I'm going to explain you feature, then supported by HTTP or REST API. We are going to start with the first, authentication and authorization. API keys. Now first thing is, like you have to understand what is API keys. API keys are used when you want to allow only specific customers to call your API. Example, paid APIs like Weather API, only user with API key can access. I want you to access my API, I am going to give you key. If you have key, then API Gateway allows you, right? Now supported by REST API, yes. HTTP API, no. So API keys are actually not supported by HTTP API. It doesn't mean that authentication and authorization is not supported by HTTP API, right? It is actually supporting different types of authentication and authorization, right? Okay. Now IAM authentication. Introduction. AWS IAM users roles can call API using sign-v signing. Only AWS resources with proper IAM permission can call your API. Example, EC2 instance calling your API using its IAM role. Now supported by REST API, yes. HTTP API, not supporting this. Third, Cognito authentication. Cognito is actually authentication app from AWS. Definitely we will talk about this. Right now you just need to understand that for authentication we can use this particular service. So,
Sorry to interrupt you. I know you guys are enjoying our video a lot because our final ultimate goal is Solution Architect Certification exam. To reach the destination, we required full videos. Path number 1, our 6-in-1 program. Our 6-in-1 program include all prerequisite skills which is needed as a cloud engineer. It include 24/7 support, lifetime update, section-wise practice test, full course practice test with tips and tricks by Bhavesh Atara, how to do exam preparation course, weekly lifetime live session with Bhavesh Atara, and 6 AWS project with documents. Path number 2, you can enroll by paying 499 and get Hindi and English, both the languages, videos of AWS. The choice is yours how to create your success story by choosing best one. Best of luck. Thank you.